So you have been watching Farming on the Rocks and other gardening channels, and you want to grow food. You know you want to grow food, but you just don't know how to start. This video is for you. And it might even be for those of us who have been gardening already. You might also find this video very helpful. A couple of you requested that I do a video just sharing how to start a garden. It might seem simple or irrelevant to persons who are gardening, but trust me, if you don't know, if you have no gardening background, if you've never planted anything before, it is very difficult to know exactly how to start and where to start. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to start your garden and how simple it is. It's not difficult. Just follow my lead. Whether you're thinking about planting in ground or you're thinking about doing a container garden, just like what I have growing here, I do container gardening mainly because I have no soil. There are things that are planted, like my mango tree, it is planted, well, it's not in the in ground, I should say, because there is no soil. What we did was to remove the rocks, fill it in with soil, and then plant. And the tree roots made its way through the rocks and is doing extremely well. But whether you're planting in ground or you're planting in containers, the first thing you need to think about is, what do I eat? You want to plant what you eat, whether it what you buy most at the farmers market or at your supermarket in the produce section. That is what you want to think about, because so many of us gardeners plant things that we really do not eat. Apart from the flowers in my garden, everything else we like to eat. So you want to plant what you like to eat and what your family like to eat. We even eat some of the flowers. Well, we can eat because of how much is produced in this garden. There's no need to eat the flowers that we grow. Our roses can be eaten, the nasturtium can be eaten. We don't, because we have an abundance of other vegetables growing in the garden. So you need to find out, what do I eat? Is it pak choy that I'm always buying? Is it cabbages? Is it corn? What do I eat? I would suggest that you plant herbs. It's not something that you'll pick and eat, but it's something that you use in your kitchen regularly, whether it be fresh or dried. So you want to plant herbs and you want to plant the vegetables that you like to eat. We plant a lot of peppers and tomatoes because that is what we eat. So in the back of your mind, you want to start a garden. You don't know how you're going to start it yet, but you know you're starting it because of the food that you consume and spend a lot of money on. So that's a good starting point. You don't buy anything yet, you just have that in your mind. So now you have your mental list prepared. You know what you want to eat. Now, of that list, you're now going to write it down. And of that list, you're going to check with your local agriculture department, or everything is now available online. Check your zone to see which of these vegetables grow best in your area that you're living in, and you're going to make a note of all of the vegetables that you like to eat and that are available in your area and will grow in that area. And so you know that whatever you're going to plant, because I have learned, what I'm telling you in this very short video is what I took years to learn. And so I'm making it a lot easier for you. It makes no sense for you to plant, invest in your time, your resources, money, and then the plant that you grow, it does not produce. So you're going to ensure that whatever you have in your mind, what you've written down, that is what I want to grow because that is what I eat, it also will grow in your zone. Okay, so now you know you want to plant peppers, you want to plant tomatoes, you want to plant carrots. Who doesn't eat carrots? You want to plant onions. Now, what are you going to plant those in? I plant in containers because of where I live. You might want to plant it in ground, in raised beds. It doesn't matter. as long as you're planting. Now, each of your plants on your list, you want to make sure you're purchasing the right size. Now, you're going to get your containers and you're going to purchase the right size for each vegetable. Everything is available online. You're able to check to see, does peppers grow well in a 1 gallon, 2 gallon container? Will it do better on the ground or in a raised bed or in a container like this? Research all of that, find out which vegetable do well in containers as against ground. I have no choice but to plant everything in containers. Some will do well, some won't. If I try for 2 3 times with a particular vegetable and it is just not growing in a container well, I stop planting that one and refocus on a similar vegetable that will do well, or just totally forget about that one and plant in something that does well, something in container that does well. Now, if you're able to if you're able to choose where you grow your vegetable, then you know this one won't do well here, but it will do well there. So you want to ensure you have the right vegetable for your zone and the right space growing in, as that's very important for you to have high yields from whatever vegetable you choose to plant in your garden. So that's two. Ensure that you plant in the right container or in the right place in your garden. Now, on the topic of the right place in your garden, every single plant that you can think of need light, whether it is artificial light or light from the sun. They need light in order to produce, in order to grow, and in order to produce. So you've bought your containers, well, you've not bought your seeds yet. You've bought your containers, and we're going to get the soil next. And you're going to need somewhere to place those containers, or need a location in your yard or property where you're going to plant your fruits and your vegetables. You need to ensure that there is direct sunlight. Once it's outside, ensure you're getting direct sunlight on your area that you select to plant your vegetables, because you might be doing everything else right, but because it's not getting the adequate amount of sunlight, your plant will not thrive. There are vegetables such as beetroot and some lettuces and strawberries that those will do well in semi-shaded areas as long as there is light um, touching them at some point throughout the day, they will do well. But then there are others like tomatoes and peppers and cabbages and okras, those sort of vegetables, they need full sun. Once the sun rises, it should be on them until it sets, or you won't get maximum. Some will produce May, some will definitely not. Like a corn, it won't produce a thing. The okras will get really, really long and they won't produce. So some vegetables, especially peppers and tomatoes, they need direct sunlight in order to produce. So wherever you're choosing in your home, whether it's a balcony area or it's outside in the yard, ensure that it is getting sunlight for most of the day and they will do well. But we need to move on to, what do you plant your seeds in? We're going to purchase seeds last. What do you plant them in order for them to do well? So many of you said to me, Maria, I did not know a banana could grow in a container. I didn't know at first either. But once it is planted in fertile soil, in a container that is able to retain moisture for a while and also drains that moisture. So there has to be a balance. Now you need the right soil to plant in, and we've learned this the hard way. We used to just get soil off of the roadway to plant our vegetables in. It worked for some, but for some, it just did not work at all. Bananas are heavy feeders, and so are a lot of other vegetables in the garden. My dasheen, the plantains, the cocos, tomatoes, peppers, all of those fruiting vegetables, eggplants, those are heavy feeders, meaning they need to be replenished often in order for them to produce and produce well. No, not only do they need to be replenished, but those need to be planted in good soil in the first place. Compost, if you're not able to make, I recommend making it for yourself, because I've seen where the ones bought compared to the ones made at home, there's a stark contrast as it relates to the nutrients that is in the, I'm not sure why, but the one at home is way, it is superior to the ones purchased. So if you're able to make your compost pile, and it is easy to make, you just need browns, greens, some manure, cardboard can be browns, your dry leaves, greens are like the same leaves from the trees that you prune and so on, and you just leave it there and it will break down, and you use that, you keep turning, it will break down. I probably will do a video on a compost pile at a later date, but compost or very, very rich soil is perfect to start your plants when you're starting your garden, because as we always hear, without a strong foundation, your building is gonna be shaky, and it goes for your vegetables too. Start out with the right soil, and just research in your area where you can get good soil to purchase, or the dirt that you have, you can replenish it. And I've published several videos showing how you can enrich the soil that you have right on your own property. You can, if it is clay, you add sand, you add organic matter, and it will fluff up and you're able to plant in those. So you give your plants the best start you can possibly give them. And so far you know what you want to grow, you know the container or where in your yard you're going to plant, you know that it is going to get adequate sunlight, and you know that you need to start with good soil. Now you need to get those seeds to start planting. Marie, where do I get seeds? One of the most popular questions that I get on this channel: where do I get seeds to plant? When I just started the garden, most of my seeds that I started with were from fruits that I purchased and vegetables that I purchased at the market. You are able to save seeds from peppers. There's so many things you're able to save seed from. You're able to save seed from tomatoes. The papayas that you see growing in the garden, those are from seeds that we got from our farmer friend from St. Elizabeth. We just enjoy those fruits and toss the seeds in the garden, and they grew. So many things that you, pumpkin, cucumbers, squashes, susumba, even susumba, guys, all of the flowers, all of those seeds you use from vegetables that you consume from purchasing. No, you're not able to save those seeds because sometimes they're not viable. I've tried so many peppers and so on that a lot of you can testify to the jalapenos and so on that we purchase in the supermarket. They just won't grow. So where do you get those in your area? Your local farm store, your feed, where we purchase our chickens here in Jamaica, and I know in the United States, so I'm not sure about other countries that I've not been to, but you are able to get, usually where livestock feed is sold, you're able to get seeds there, you're able to get compost there as well. Your supermarket, usually at the close to the produce section, they're selling produce, and so the seed section is going to be small compared to the produce, because what they really want to sell is the produce that is in the supermarket. But if you look closely, there is a little stand. Most of the supermarkets that I go to, and there's a little stand with seeds on there. And usually when you purchase your seeds locally, they will grow in your area. They're not going to sell you seeds locally that won't grow. So it is best to purchase in your local supermarkets, farm stores, and so on. That's what I do. That's why I started. So you're not able to get seeds in your farm store. The last resort, because sometimes that happens to me, as simple as a scotch bonnet seed that is so local in Jamaica. It's everywhere in Jamaica. Sometimes you go to the farm store, the supermarket, and it is just not available. Last resort is to purchase online. But even online, they often say the zone where the seeds are grown in. So pay close attention to the packets that you're purchasing online. Check the description and check what are those, the reviews, to see if persons in your area, usually it's say bought in the US, bought in Canada, bought wherever, you'll see those reviews. Ensure that persons are saying they bought it and it grew. So if it is you can't get seeds in your local farm store and supermarkets and so on, you can check online. Also, there might be local agricultural, what do you call that, organizations in your area. For us, we have RADA. RADA is our agriculture seed provider, so to speak. So if it is that you cannot find seeds in the store, you can reach out to those persons such as RADA in Jamaica and find out where they distribute seeds. They're not labeled for the most part. They're just in little paper bags, but they do better than some of the ones that are labeled. So if it is that you can't find the seeds in your shop, reach out to your local agriculture department, find out where they distribute seeds to. Sometimes they even distribute to small farmers for free, so you could benefit from that. Online is really the last resort for me because you're really not sure where the seeds coming from unless it's the name brands, and those are expensive and sometimes they don't do well in your area. But unless it's a name brands, you really don't know, and you can't hold anybody accountable for you spending money shipping and you don't get value for money. So seeds, you want to ensure you get the right seeds to start your garden. So now you know what you want to eat. You know what you eat every day. You know what you use in your kitchen every day, and you know that is what you want to plant. You know what you want to plant it in, whether it is the ground or in containers. You know what container size you need because of the type of vegetables and fruits that you want to grow. You know where to plant them in terms of lighting, in terms of whether or not they need half sun, half shade. You know that. You know which plant grow well in um your climate, and also you know what seeds to purchase. You're sure now and you're ready to go. Marie, where do I go from here? All you need to do is to follow Marie every day on this gardening journey. I post videos on how to plant your seeds. I am currently using the farmer's calendar, and I didn't purchase a book. It is available online for everyone to see. I just simply search for farmer's calendar for 2025, and it shows me what I need to plant when. So you'll see that you need to plant root crop a certain time. And it's planting according to the moon and the energy from the moon and the earth. Everything works together. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's God's work. It's just how it is. Old people, they just study it and they don't need a book to be able to plant whatever. They just know what to plant when, according to the moon cycle. And so you can purchase. You're going to say, Mary, I don't know when to plant it. Purchase, not purchase. Go on the farmer's calendar and check when it is to plant root vegetables. It will guide you guys. No, you know how to plant because you've checked the calendar or the almanac. You know how to plant and when to plant it. Now, how do I take care of them? That is where Marie comes in. All you need to do is to follow my journey and learn with me, because I'm not going to say I'm expert at anything in this garden. Everything I do is a learning process for me, and as I succeed at it, I share it with you. I'm not going to be showing off my harvest and how beautiful the garden is and how well it is doing, and not share how I get it to that point, because I was at the place where I had no garden, nothing growing. I grew up in a farming community, but I was not the one literally planting most of the stuff. I might do a little callaloo or suckers and sugarcane, but the farming was done by my parents at that time, my dad mostly, and I just observed because as kids in those days, you observe and you see where things are growing and you remember it becomes a part of you. So after even leaving, it is still there because it is something that was instilled in you. So everything I'm doing now, I am learning it on my own. Just look down there at my turnip. They're so pretty. I'm learning it on my own and I'm sharing it with you. And I love to do that because I enjoy when you come to the comment and say, look, Marie, I followed you and I plant peanuts and now harvesting. It brings such joy to me. You would not even understand. And so, as I said, I know some of you are gardeners and you watch it to the end anyway. And I thank you for the support. But then there are some persons who don't know where to start. You literally do not know. You grew up in a pretty concrete house with no farmland. No, at your age, you're trying to grow healthy foods because you really don't know what you're buying and you want to grow your own food. And even if you know what you're buying and it is expensive, anything more marked organic, you're gonna pay for it. And so you want to grow your own. So just follow me on this journey. Get your little area set up with all of, if there's anything that I left out, let me know. I know you're going to say, Maria, do the pest, the fertilizing, all of that. I post videos from time to time sharing how I do that. So just stick around Farming on the Rocks. Subscribe and press that notification bell. So many of you watch and are not yet subscribed. And I know because I'm seeing it on my analytics. The percentage of you that watch and are not subscribed is unbelievable. If you are watching and you've not yet subscribed, it is important, guys. Subscribe, press the notification bell because that is how you guarantee you'll see the episodes. Because sometimes you ask a question and the episode was posted yesterday. I don't mind telling you or pointing you to the episode, but I would like for you to be able to be up to date each time I post every day. So once you press that notification, you should be notified whenever I post videos. All right. Please share this video for persons. I know there are 30 odd thousand of you subscribed, and when I post, I might get 2,000. Well, I might get 10,000 views. So not everybody is seeing the videos. Please share for persons who really need this information to get their food growing in their garden. I'd love for all of you to see this before spring. It's time to start prepping now for spring garden for those of you in the cold. So if you're watching this, it is the opportune time to start getting prepared for your garden season. All right, guys, please leave your comments and let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you need other videos like this to help you along. Ask your question. Some of you asked questions before and asked me to do videos before. Guys, I am one person and sometimes I forget. Please ask again. Request your videos in the comments and I'll try my best to work on them. Don't forget, don't be shy to ask again. If you asked already and I didn't get a chance to prepare a video, ask again. I'll prepare a video as soon as I get the chance to do so. All right, guys, thank you again for sticking around. Appreciate your support. Please like, share the videos. It is so, so critical. And leave your comments. All right, guys, take care until I see you tomorrow back in the garden. All right, God bless.